Okay, cool. Yes, so my name is Jeff Johansson. I'm the Nordic Supply Chain Director for Royal Canin Mars, and we're all about cats and dogs. So naturally, you can see we have a dog on the front page here. If I had a time, I would share a video of some kittens and puppies also to get all of you in like a happy puppy mode, but I guess there's no time for that. So I'm jumping straight to the conclusion of my presentation. So you see, one second, I have some IT issues here. It's really slow. There we go. Okay, so now in COVID times, a lot of us have seen the bullwhip effect in full action and realize how hard it is to mitigate this without the fully connected end-to-end supply chain. So we have managed this year, but it has taken a toll on us. We have really fought hard this year with a lot of manual tasks. So it is really cool to see then Santos' presentation and the need for digitalization and end-to-end connectivity. So you see to the left side, you have the classical way of looking at a supply chain from supplier to consumer. And then we have on the right side, we have the connected, more modern one to see it. And also naturally, we are more vulnerable to disruptions in manual work compared to digital. So what I will show you now is how we handle the COVID crisis and the result of that, and also digitalization as an enabler for future disruption. So then I would take one case, and that is using an RPA for order handling, also to making the order handling and the order to cash process more autonomous. So this is the presentation today. So I didn't have time for a video, but I still have time for some pictures of cute puppies and kittens. So there it is. This is what Royal Canin is all about. We believe that pet makes our world better, and in return, we want to make a better world for pets by creating them the best possible nutrition. So this is Royal Canin in a nutshell. In figures, so what I want to point out here is that yeah, it's 8,000 associates, and out of those, 500 are veterinarians or nutritionists. So it's really a nutrition-heavy company, I would say. And also we can point out that we have 7 laboratories, and together with the Mars network, we are proudly a part of Mars. You all know about Mars, the huge family-owned business. 7 consecutive years featured as world best multinational workplace, so rank 5 last year. So it's indeed a great company to work in. And you know that it's a global manufacturer of confectionery, pet food, and other products, but you might not know that it's also the world's largest animal care services with 2,500 veterinarian hospitals. So the cats and dogs is really close to the heart of the Mars family. So Mars is all over the world, and there are about 120,000 employees and 50 brands. You see, Royal Canin is the most interesting one out of them, and the coolest brand probably. But you might have heard of of Mars, Snickers, M&Ms, and Extra, and the other brands as well. That was Mars. So this is the maturity level that we use in Mars to define our maturity in supply chain. And Santos, you see, we have 5 steps. You only had 4, but I guess enough said about that. So where 1 is really reactive, and you all heard also from Santos that the top of the ladder is then agile, optimized, and connected. All of those cool buzzwords that we all hear about these days. And we use this to set as our Nordic supply chain strategy. And I would say that we're about halfway up the ladder now. So in level number 3, it has taken us to come from level 1 to level 3 about one step per year, so 3 years now. And now we want to reach level 4 as soon as possible, because you see, really, COVID has worked as an accelerator for us, wanting us to get into the digital part of maturity level number 4 as soon as possible. So in orange, I marked there some of the most important ones for COVID times and disruption. So digitalization from end-to-end supply chain. Yes, this is probably the most important one. Integration with partners, of course, this is a necessity, and automized workflows, and then fast decisions. And I will focus on these 2, the digitalized and connected supply chain and automized workflows. So this is the new picture that we use to display our supply chain. So it's no longer a chain, it's a circle, all connected. Everyone has instant access to real-time data from customer behaviors, point of sales data, and all the way to suppliers. So now you need to bend your visuals to a circle when you display your supply chain from now on. We still in the Nordics have 2 milestones ahead of us here. So you see ahead of us real-time visibility that Santos talked about, and then end-to-end planning. So these 2 steps then really the first one is with connecting with the control tower, seeing, getting visibility straight through the supply chain. So many places in Mars already adapted this one. So we have it in Americas and some of the markets in Europe, but in Nordics we have still this one to go. So we have started, but not still yet not finished with that process. The second step is then more enterprise planning or end-to-end planning, where you actually use the same set of data throughout the entire supply chain. So this is even more mature than the step number 1. And as you hear, we're yet not there. So going into COVID, we had to handle this semi-automatically then. So I did this slide just to show all the additional steps that we've added now in COVID times to manage. And some examples then we've had daily meetings then, balancing demand supply, weekly information letters, daily information letters, capping process. So in Royal Canin in the Nordics only we have about 10,000 customers, and many of them are very, very small, and they don't have the capacity to store up and order. So only the bigger customers can do that. So, and we don't want them, we don't want the big customers to take all the goods and then leave the small customer without any product for a long period of time. So that's why we introduce this capping process. But this takes time. You need to contact the customer, and then you need to come up with a mutual solution and divide the order on 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 years, not 5 years, 5 weeks, and to get a mutual solution for it. But this we did, and we also introduced a temporary drop shipment solution. So drop shipment is also one of the buzzwords, but really to make sure that the small customers that didn't have any physical customers anymore, so they are able to sell products anyway. So they sell the products, we deliver them directly home to pet owners. So these are some of the examples that we done now manually without the connected end-to-end supply chain. And it has taken a lot of work, a lot of meetings, and a lot of meetings with focus on just sharing information, where the information sharing could have been done with the system, and then the meetings could be about how to handle, how to improve, and so on. We did it, so we managed to flatten out the bullwhip. So this is the customer service this year for Royal Canin in the Nordics, and we have managed to stay above the target all periods. It's really cool. I think we're quite fortunate in Royal Canin because compared to many other organizations, we have a quite agile supply chain. So if we just share information, we can manage, even if we see increase in sales like we did in COVID time. So we can manage. It was hard work to do it. I said this many times. I will say it again. And that's also why I'm so eager to get to the connected supply chain. And this part here will not probably be, it's not naturally part of my presentation. I wanted to add it anyway. So I'm talking a lot about work and stress and how we'll use automation to reduce workload and stuff like that. But we can't forget our associates, happy associates. And I also want to state that this COVID times, it actually, you shouldn't see it as a risk. It's also an enabler for creating even more efficient teams and better teams and get the teams to get together. But really see where you see the good leaders, they succeed in this, and their teams are striving. And then we have the not so good leaders, their teams are really struggling. So it's an opportunity and a risk at the same time. So in disruptive times, we want to move more into automized solutions, also to minimize the impact we have of sick leaves and vacations and stuff like that, to be more autonomous. And there are a bunch of solutions where you can move into automized solutions. And I'm going to talk about the one in customer service, then creating a more autonomous order to cash process. So this is what it looks like in Royal Canin in the Nordics. We have worked the last 3 years to increase the amount, the proportion of automized orders. And you see we have introduced then web shops and multifunction web shops and CRM systems to take away a lot of the calls and the emails, but we still have a lot of emails. We're now at about 73% automized, so still 27% manually handled order every day. And this is where we want to introduce the RPA then to take care of this this last email part that can't be moved to EDI. So time for a vote also. So how familiar are you with RPA? So let's see if we can get this pull up and running. So we leave it for a couple of seconds. Can we see those results already? Do you think it's enough time? So it's spread all over the place. Most of them have heard of it and seen, but not seen the concept in action. So I'm hoping to show you a little bit like see the concept in action. I hope to answer that one as well. And those for those who have not heard of it and heard of it, I'm going to show you a little bit more. So interesting. Yes. So robot process automation. So it's actually really a system that has the capability to mimic human action. So whatever a human can do on the screen, a robot can do. A sequence of steps that creates or mimics an activity or a process, you just guide it with and if programming like that, and it's automized, so it's without human touch. So this is an RPA then. We'll show you more later, but we will then use it then for the customers that will not move to webshop and can't go to EDI. I said that we have more than 10,000 customers in the Nordics, and many of them are smaller shops or veterinarians or breeders or even private persons. And many of them don't have the capability or funding to go to EDI. It's not a big investment, but still not for 10,000 customers. Webshop is the solution for most of our customers, but then again, we have some customers that are mid-sized. They have their own ERP systems and purchasing systems that pops out a PO in Excel or PDF, and naturally they don't want to enter our webshop and punch in our orders for us. So this is where the RPA comes in hand. The RPA will then read this Excel or this Excel or this PDF file and enters then our Navision, our ERP systems, and enters the orders into the system. And this is what it looks like. It doesn't get more interesting than this. It looks exactly like if a human would have done it themselves. It's only faster, it's automatically, and it's more accurate. So I think that's enough of that presentation. So then RPA will then create better service for us with speed, accuracy. We're minimizing punching errors, and that says also increasing our customer service. And our customer service clerks can focus on more value-adding tasks like outbound calls, calling our customers, see how they are doing, what kind of help they would like to have, or doing additional sales. Really adding value for the business. And then the stability also when humans are impacted in like we've had now in COVID times. The robot doesn't sleep, doesn't take vacation, doesn't get sick and so on. So it's really stable in that sense. So digital worker that we have will increase our customer service, and it's live now in the Nordics. So then back again to the maturity level ladder. So you see that we are now entering then level number 4 then with the digital supply chain and the automized workflows. And we are also looking into the level number 5 the next 2 years with the enterprise planning, try to get the entire chain connected, and also artificial intelligence. We're looking at the demand sensing system also to use machine learning for demand sensing. So those are the things that we are peaking on in level number 5. And then thanks for listening. And I'm finishing off with another dog, of course. So you have a cute dog to look at.